Hello, my name is Lucy and today I'm bringing my September 2022 TBR. So the month of September is usually Becca's BOOKOPLATHON and this year I am joining. And yes, I do not have my AirPods in, they're off so I can. So we're going to do the game a little bit differently because the last time I did the game my camera broke, which was like 2 years ago. As you know, I do Uno for my TBR, so I'm going to use my Uno cards to go around the board. If I get like two threes in a row, I count that as a double. We're going to do 10 picks. Oh, and the plus twos, plus fours, and the skips are not counted this round. And also something that I have found that is a story graph does not have lowest rated. So the first number is. No, that does not count. We have a 2, which is, okay, so community shelf is a prompt, and I did not do those. So number 2 is to finish or start a series, which I have the perfect one for. So the next one is a 7. So the next prompt is buildings. So it has to have a building on it. Okay, let me think about that. We have to go 9 spaces, and that is favorite setting. I don't really have a favorite setting in relation to books. I don't know what I'm going to do for that one. A 7. That is not a double because I didn't pick it up twice in a row. Oh, an autumn book. Okay, I have one. So the next one is, oh, it's a double. Third person perspective. Oh, I don't know that one. A 9. And we are at lowest rated. And I don't know what to pick for that one. A 1, which is another community shelf. Okay. So let's choose, with that one, I'll just pick a pop for my TBR. Wait, no, let's do the number I got. So, okay, so we're up to number 8. Oh, 5, okay. For the chance cards, I'll do read a book in my unhaul pile, because I've got plenty of those. This is the 9th pick. The 3, dice roulette. I got 9. Show you. I don't think you can see, but I got 9. 9 is 425 to 475. We're on number 10. That's a 9. Favorite genre. So that's a romance. And last card, a 1, which is a TBR game. So I'll just do my game, which is, you know, I got a 7. So a 7 in my game is read a romance. So that is the picking portion of my game. Like, I did not cheat or anything. I just didn't want to show you guys the board because it's very hard. This is the least number of books I've had to read in a month. I fixed my TBR and it took me a little bit to do because I was stuck on some of the prompts. And these are the 11 books that I chose. So the first prompt was to continue a series. And I chose Wonder Smith by Jessica Townsend. So this is the second book in the Morgan quote series. It's a sequel. Don't want to spoil you guys. So Morgan is, she's sort of unlucky because everything bad happens. I think the people of her town think she's gonna die on her like 11th birthday. She doesn't. She's sent off to this place where she's trained, I think, in magic or something. It's been a while since I read the first book, so I forget the gist of it. I did like it. Second one was buildings, and at first I had a little bit of trouble figuring out what to do for this one. But I picked up Because of You by Pip Harry, and it is signed by the author. Down here, I don't think you can see it. I bought this in at, this is the synopsis of Because of You. Tiny is an 18-year-old girl living on the streets in Sydney, running from a small-time past. She finds short-term accommodation at Hope Lane, a shelter for the homeless, where she meets Nola, a high school student on volunteer placement. Both girls share their love of words through the Hope Lane writing group. Can they share their secrets too? This is going to be a good book, I can tell. So that is Because of You, and I'm very excited to read it. The next one was favorite settings. So I sadly don't have any books set in Melbourne, and if you know, like, I absolutely adore Melbourne. It is one of my favourite places. I just decided to stretch it a bit and just say big cities because I love big cities. I decided to choose Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. So this book is set in New York. The synopsis is, okay, so it's a long synopsis, so I'm gonna have issues with reading this. So on paper, college dropout Paolo Ryan doesn't have a whole lot going on for him. His graveyard shift at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn is a struggle, plus he's up to his eyeballs in credit card debt. Never mind the state of his student loans. Pop juggernaut Lena Smart has enough social media followers to populate the internet. The brand is unstoppable. She graduated from child stardom to become an international icon, and her adult life is a crazy blur of private planes, hotel rooms, and strangers screaming for her just to notice them. When Liana and Pablo meet at 5 a.m. at the bodega in the dead of winter, it's absurd that they would be a thing. But as they discover who they are and who they want to be, how to defy the expectations of everyone else, Lee and Pab turn to each other, which of course is when things get properly complicated. So I believe that this book is either, I feel like it's a much older YA book or a new adult book. Yes, it can be classified as older YA, but it can also be classified as a new adult without the smart. That is Permanent Record. I'm really excited to read it. Hopefully I enjoy it. Next one. What was the next one? I forget. The fourth one was Autumn, and I chose Harry Fall Apart by Katie Zhao, I believe. This is a murder mystery book, I believe. So the synopsis is Jamie Ruan, the queen bee of Sinclair Pep, is dead. No one knows what happened until an anonymous poster calling themselves a protector points the finger at Jamie's former best friends. Trickster, a fashionista Crystal, grades-focused Alexander, and scholarship student Nancy, all exceptional students with perfect records and shady stories about how they got there. As the protector threatens to reveal their darkest secrets, Nancy and the others race to find the true killer, but will their past catch up with them first? And it's people say that it's a mix of One of Us is Lying meets Crazy Rich Asians. Next one is Third Person POV. And let me tell you, this is very hard to find. So I think this is Third Person POV. If it's not, I chose A Brush with Love, Maisie Eddings. So the synopsis is accidentally reading news from the residency program of her dreams. Dental student Harper Horowitz is laser focused, so crashing quite literally into Dan Craig's is exactly the sort of dream instruction that she is trying to avoid. First year student Dan may not have the same passion for pulling teeth that Harper does, but is instantly smitten when Harper makes it clear that she is not interested in trading feelings for feelings anytime soon. They set out to be just friends, a plan with the best intentions and the poorest to follow through. Late nights in the dental lab and rather unsettled matchmaking efforts of their friends draw Dan and Harper closer. Still, Harper can't shake the worry that a romance with Dan might risk everything she's worked so hard to build. Harper may have no trouble acing her studies, but falling in love with a whole new challenge. I'm excited for this. I need a romance. Prompt was lowest rated. The Storygraph does not have a lowest rated feature on their site, so I just went with oldest published that I could find. So I chose Envy by Anna Gobson. This is the third book in the Lux series. Lux is basically Gossip Girl and the OC, but if it was set in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. And it is so good. I don't want to read the synopsis because it's the third book in this series. And I am so excited to read this book. Holy hell, I enjoy this series. Hope to finish this series this year so I can take that series off my list. One, I think it was just start a series. Darius the Great is Not Okay by Abdul Karam. I have no idea how to say their name. I'm so sorry. So this is the first book in a duology. The synopsis is Darius Kellner speaks better than Kogog than Farsi, and he knows more about the Hobbit social crews than Persian ones. He's a fictional Persian. Half his mother's side, and his first ever trip to Iran is about to change his life. Darius has never fit in at home, and he's sure things are going to be the same in Iran. His clinical depression doesn't exactly help matters, and trying to explain his medication to his grandparents only makes things harder. Then Darius meets Zora, the boy next door, and everything changes. Soon they're spending their days together, playing soccer, eating falafel. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the food. And talking for hours on a secret rooftop overlooking the city's skyline. Sahab calls him Darius, the original Farsi version of his name, and Darius has never felt more like himself than he does now that he's Darius. Just so it. I'm so sorry I butchered that name. By turns, hilarious. I know I butchered some of the words in that one. I am so sorry. Oh yeah, so I had no idea that it was a trigger warning for mental illness. I wish books had trigger warnings at the front of them. Trigger warning for clinical depression, and I think maybe anxiety will play a part in this book. Just be wary of this if you want to read this book. I'm really excited to read it, and I'm so sorry that I butchered words. So the next book is Read a Book in My Unwhole Pile. I have chosen Checkmate by Mallory Blackman. So this is the third book in the Northern Crosses series. My relationship with Northern Crosses, I love the first book up until a certain point. I'll just tell you that there's mentions of, I believe, mentions of past rape and maybe past trauma. So basically this book is reverse racism. What if the blacks controlled the whites? Next book, I believe, is Read a Book between 425 and 475 pages. Oh my god, this was so hard. So I thought, oh, what about a book in my book cart? And it was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I have read Disguise Everywhere by her, like years and years ago, like maybe 2015. Okay, so the synopsis for I'll Give You the Sun is Jade and her twin Noah are close until a tragedy drives them apart. Now they are barely speaking and falling for boys they can't have. Love's complicated. To be keep close. So I think the last two are to read a romance, and I just decided to pick up both the Sally Thorne books that I still need to read. So the first one is 99% Mine. The synopsis is Darcy Barrett found her dream man at age 8. Ever since she's had to settle, having dated men far and wide where she can categorically say no one measures up to Tom Valiska, whose only flaw is that his twin brother Jamie's best friend 99% of the time he doesn't seem interested in her. When the twins inherit their grandmother's cottage, they're left with strict instructions to bring it back to its former glory. Darcy plans to leave as soon as the renovations start, but before she can cut and run, Tom arrives bearing power tools, and he's single for the first time in a decade. Suddenly, Darcy decides to stick around, sparks are flying, and not just because of faulty wiring. A 1% chance with Tom is no longer enough. This time around, Darcy's switching things up. She's gonna make Tom Valiski 99% hers. I have heard that this book isn't as good as a hating game. The last one is Second First Impressions, and the synopsis is Ruthie Medora is 24, going on 94, and fully committed to a job at a luxury retirement village. Keeping herself busy caring for the eccentric residents means that Ruthie can safely ignore her own life, what little there is of it. Teddy Prescott is particularly allergic to a hard day's work. When he works up as the retirement village new employee, Ruthie is less than impressed. The last thing she needs is as distracting, as irritating, and handsome as a selfish rich kid. Lucky for Ruthie, her favorite pet of Mitch's residents need a new assistant to her job, so she hands over Teddy, ready for them to send him running. Except Teddy may be about to surprise her, just not surviving the old woman's antics, but by charming Ruthie so much that she starts to remember there's more to life than work. Could Teddy be far more than simply just an unwelcome destruction? So anyway, that was my TBR. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!